From the Ticats Audio Network, this is Ticats Today with Steve Milton.
It's Friday, June 21st. This is Ticats Today, and I'm Steve Milton. Day 3 of practice is over, which means there's only tomorrow morning's walkthrough and a charter flight to Regina, separating the Ticats from Sunday night's chance to avenge last Sunday's harrowing loss to the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Today we're going to look a little bit at special teams, and speaking of that important part of the game, we'll introduce everyone to one of the many human Swiss Army knives the Ticats have recruited in their bid to expand roster and positional flexibility, and that's James Tuck, the native of Aurora, Ontario, who plays on every special team and has also got a lot of time on the offense. And we'll hear from Bo Levi Mitchell, who's thrown for 300 or more yards in both games so far, on his evolution into the type of quarterback his head coach is urging him to be. So, about special teams. Theoretically, 1/3 of the game, but in CFL reality, they're more impactful than 33%, with their ability to influence, both negatively and positively, the offensive and defensive strategies and playbooks through field position, and to completely alter the pace and mood of a game through a stimulating run back, a forced fumble, a surprisingly long field goal, or a huge punt pin deep in the opponent's end. The Ticats are 6 for 7 in field goals, haven't had a return touchdown yet. Actually, nobody in the CFL had until Devontae Dedmon did last night in Montreal. And there have been a few decent returns against them. But overall, Scott Milanovich feels the units are progressing. Now, as we listen to him, I think it's important to keep in mind that the Ticats are using a lot of players new to the team on those special units and lost a number of special teams, well, specialists is the word, from previous years through injury, retirements, and free agency.
Yeah, I think our coverage units are doing better, punt team and kickoff team. We've made marked improvements since training camp. I think Legs is doing well. I think Nick, as a rookie, is doing a nice job. Woodsy, I think, is doing really well. I'm going to forget somebody. Ante and Tuck are doing a great job at managing and leading the punt team, which is difficult, making the calls, making the decisions. Obviously, great returner the last couple of weeks. So, it's trending in the right direction for sure. Yeah, the last kickoff return wasn't what we had hoped, but punt return was reasonable, right? I think we won that one last week. I think Woods is doing a good job at catching the ball and then just getting north and getting what he can get. Is there room for improvement? Certainly, but we're trending in the right direction, I think.
In mid-February, in the earliest throes of free agency, one of the first players the Ticats signed was James Tuck of the Montreal Alouettes, who's a fullback, but a lot more than that. He's made 54 career special teams tackles, including a couple of double-digit seasons with Edmonton and Toronto, and also is a key blocker on return teams. Plus, because of his versatility, he's more valuable on the offense than the casual observer might understand. Tuck's CFL age is the same as Tim Horton's Fields. They both came into the league in 2014. He's a high motor guy and, despite turning 34 last week, runs at good speed and hits with amplitude. Shockingly, he did not play high school football because his school did not field a team. He played some varsity league football, then was with the York Lions before the Owls drafted him as a defensive end. Yes, you heard that right. He was on defense his first pro year, then added fullback to his portfolio while also playing defense. He played for the Owls, the Bombers, the Argos, the Riders, and Elks before returning to the Alouettes for their Grey Cup season last year. But despite winning a ring, he signed with the Ticats as soon as he could last winter. Here's Milanovich on the fullback's versatility.
He's one of my favorites. I know Moss. I'm sure Moss was not thrilled to lose him because he's a Jason Moss kind of guy. Blue collar, loves the game, loves the mental game, tough, doesn't ever make the same mistake twice, just kind of a core guy you can count on, guys that help coaches sleep at night. He can block, he can protect. We get him out in routes, so he's a little bit of a jack of all trades. He would be kind of like the equivalent of the smaller tight end type deal. It's kind of a tweener between a fullback and what they call an F tight end down in the U.S. So he's got the ability to do all those things, which is makes us pretty flexible when we have that personnel group out there.
And now his quarterback, Bo Levi Mitchell, weighs in on number 40.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like when I first saw him, I was like, that's a guy that seems like, it doesn't seem super approachable. Right, like just that, big muscle guy. He's got the bald head. He's got the hat tan like he's Scotty Scheffler or something. But honestly, man, just one of the nicest dudes. And I'll tell you what, he is a hell of an athlete. Like he's good at ping pong. He can catch. He can throw. Like, he's good at darts. Like it's impressive, man. And he's very knowledgeable. He understands the game. I mean, he came in here and won the fullback job. And he's a guy that we rely on a lot and does a lot of great things for us. But just one of the funniest dudes on the team and a guy that everybody kind of vibes with. So it's good.
Now, I should add that Mitchell didn't know that Tuck has never scored a CFL touchdown and said he hoped he could help get him one. Hey, maybe it'll come on one of those little swing passes out of the backfield that the Ticats, and most CFL teams actually, like to flip to a running back moving into the open field. Mitchell did joke, however, that he wouldn't be changing his reads just to make that happen. It'd have to be natural. Tuck is really good on special teams. He plays on every one of them, and to be good at special teams, you first have to believe in them and then embrace them.
Special teams is just the ultimate, team game, but it's also the ultimate one-on-one battle, right? Every guy on the field has their matchup, and the more matchups we win on that specific play, the better chance we have of a big play or success. So it's just one of those things that you're playing for yourself, you're playing for your team, you're playing for the guy next to you, and if everyone does their job, good things can happen. To keep it simple, like coverage, basically, give your defense the best field position possible. Try to pin them deep. We all know the percentages of, offensive drives starting, let's say inside the 20. So the further we can pin them, the better chance defensively we have. And then conversely on the, the return game, the more yards we can give our offense, if we can give them a 1 first down, 2 first downs, that just makes it so much easier. If we can put them in field goal range, we're a first down away from points, essentially. We're a young group, but we have a lot of key veteran guys in certain spots that are really helping bring, the level of play up. And we're coming along nicely. So, we have a lot of good players in this league, a lot of good returners in this league. So, our antennas are always up and we have to bring our A game. But, I like what we've seen. We're on the right trajectory so far.
On the field today, it's a common football thing for teams to try to recreate the kind of rancorous, noisy atmosphere they'll face in a road game. And the Ticats had 4 speakers of loud noise going throughout some of the team sessions. A lot of it sounding like you were standing right beside turn 4 at the Daytona 500. Might be even louder in Saskatchewan, though. Meanwhile, Bo Levi Mitchell continued to be calm and cool and collected. And coming off 300 or more yards in each of the 2 games so far, he had another good outing, with tight spiral after tight spiral and lots of attention to Tim White, who's looking for a rebound game. While Mitchell reminded us that the only stat which matters is the scoreboard, and the Ticats have come out on the wrong side of that twice, Milanovich says his quarterback is farther along in what he's been asking Mitchell to do than he would have expected heading into Game 3 of the season.
I'm having fun, man. You got to give a lot of credit to Scott. Like, he spent a lot of time, a lot of man hours, taking a guy that, has been playing the game a certain way, and I've been, hard-headed in my past as well. So, just kind of swallowing the pride and then just, listening to him and taking what he says, man. Like, he's a smart dude. He's coached a lot of great quarterbacks. So I'm just trying to, learn as much as I can from him every day. I literally made a mistake yesterday. Like, I threw to a player that we're not even allowed to throw to in the read and threw a pick. And he just kind of looked at me. He's like, what happened? He's like, I was like, I didn't trust the read. He's like, just trust the read, man. So, when you trust it, you go after it, good things happen. Yeah, I think just from our personal conversations is that he knew there was a lot of habits that I've had over the past, good, bad, just whatever they are. They're not the, necessarily the way that he wants things done. And I think, what he's alluding to is me breaking those habits. Like, it's going to take a while, right? Like, to not backpedal out of a drop and, just do certain things. Like, we have our things that I need to work on to get better at. And I'm working at those every single day. And sometimes the habit still comes out, but I think he just means that I'm ahead on, some of those things.
Mitchell said that while the offense has shown some excellent progress, there were also a number of 2-and-outs, and had they made good on only a couple of those, it would have had the defense off the field and perhaps moved the Ticats into the W column in one of the 2 games. Ever the realist. And the realist in me says it's time to close it off for Friday. Thanks for spending your valuable minutes with us. It's always appreciated. And please join us again tomorrow, the day we board the plane for Regina and the Roughriders home opener. And don't forget, Tiger Cat's audio network is chock full of interesting shows from sunup to well past sundown on game day. And of course, there's the insightful and entertaining game broadcast with RJ and Luke. Until then, this has been Ticats Today, and I'm Steve Milton.